If you love country music, real life chaos, and a little bit of tea beans filled, then you are in the right place. Hey guys, welcome to G and the Tea. I'm your host Gina, mum, country music lover, and someone who has definitely got a few stories to tell. This podcast is all about three things: country music, mum life, and the kind of honest conversations that you would have with your closest friends, because that's how I want you to feel here. There is nothing off the table, from songs that hit you right in the heart to the messy, funny, and sometimes a little chaotic, overwhelming reality of being a mum. And of course, a little bit of tea on the way, because it would not be G and the Tea without a little bit of tea. I've always loved country music because it tells the truth, whether it's heartbreak, love, or starting over. And honestly, that's exactly what I want this podcast to feel. All them emotions, and no shame in feeling any of those emotions either. I want this space to be real, unfiltered, and relatable, of course. So whether you're listening to this whilst doing the school run, you've got 5 minutes to have a little cup of tea and a listen, or you're a mum who just needs a little bit of time to have a chat with a friend, I'm glad you're here, because this is what I'm here for. Before we get into today's episode, I feel like we need a proper catch up. It has been one of them years, let's just say. I'm not even going to say one of them days. It's been one of them years where I have sat down and been like, what just happened? Where's the time gone? Where are the hours gone? The days gone? Like, how are we already in April? How did I have a 2-year-old last week? I feel like I've literally just given birth to this child. But that is me, and that is how life is, let's be real. Between mum life and trying to find 5 minutes to myself, I feel like sitting here doing this podcast is where I'm getting that 5 minutes to myself, because I'm doing something for me, which is very rare when you're a mum, if you know what I mean. You don't get time for yourself. So while she's napping, I was like, let's get on the podcast and let's start filming episode 1. This is actually the third time I'm filming this, because I have a camera that is like 20 years old. And I thought it would work, but it didn't work. Okay, it's a lie. It's not 20 years old, because I wasn't 7 when I got it. I think I was like 12. But that's still a long time. I don't want to think about the years, because it does scare me when I think too much into it. But I was like, let's get it out. I feel like this is doing something for me, which is really exciting. If we are going back, and I'm not just saying like, I used to film YouTube videos in my bedroom when I was like 12, which is true, I did. Let's go back further to, does anyone remember iToy? On the PlayStation 2, I used to love playing that. And in that, you could make like a little 60-second clip and change like the background. And from then on, I knew that I loved doing little stuff like this. And I'm such a podcast lover. I love listening to a podcast on the way to work, or whilst I'm doing some cleaning around the house. Not that you get much time to when you're a toddler, but it just takes me to another little world, makes me rest a little bit more. So I thought, let's do one myself. With that saying, it would not be a podcast. I wouldn't be able to do a podcast if I didn't talk about country music, because at this point, it's just like a personality trait. It is part of me. Honestly, it's the only music I really listen to. I love it. It makes you feel kind of way, because it's so relatable. Whether you're talking about heartbreak, I've not had my heart broken in a very long time, touch wood. But if you're starting over, if you're having a crazy day, if you're having a happy day, if you had a wild night, there's a song for every emotion that you are feeling, I find. And I love that. I've even written a few little country songs of my own, actually, that maybe one day I'll share with you all. If you watch my little teaser on my Instagram, that's part of a song that I actually wrote and did like the music for and stuff. But I don't know. I am very proud of them. It's whether I can get my voice right to sing them before I want to share them, because I don't want to share it and you guys will be like, her voice is awful. So let's just start with the podcast first, and then maybe we'll jump into a little bit of music at some point. But I love writing them, because you are literally writing a story of how you feel, and I actually love that. Every week we are going to have a little segment called Tea and the Tune, where we will talk about a country music song, maybe even an album, and I just want to dive into that sort of little song. If you have any recommendations as well, because I'm always adding to my country music playlist, then please send over whether a message or a comment on one of my TikToks or Instagrams, so I can add that to my list, because I'm forever looking for more country music. The playlist probably has like 100 songs in it, but I need more to it. I need to find some new records, whether they're old school or new. And this week's Tea of the Tune, we're actually going to talk about the Dandelion album by Ella Langley. the gorgeous Ella Langley. Absolutely obsessed with her music at the moment. I feel like she's very relatable. I love that she is now singing with her country twang. If you go back to a few videos, if you go back years to when she first started producing music, she didn't really have that accent coming out in the songs, and I love that she does that, because it just, I don't know, it feels raw, it feels real, and it's such a unique voice as well, which I absolutely love. I think what stands out to me is the theme, and if you have watched her on the podcast, she sort of explains why she called the album Dandelion, because her last album was called Hungover, and Dandelion tea is good for your, is it a liver? It's like a detox or something from when you've had loads of alcohol. So if anyone needs a little detox, then get themselves some Dandelion tea. I was actually really lucky to watch her live at Hyde Park BST. She came out with, it was Morgan Wallen, and Riley Green was also the add-on act. And then he brought her out and they sang You Look Like You Love Me, and she was amazing. I'd love to see her sing any of the Hungover songs, but also this album now would be really cool. I know she's going on tour, but she's not actually going on tour in any places in England yet. I do think it's going to happen though, and I feel like the tickets are going to be as hard to get as they were for like Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen. So because she is up there now, like she's on the normal radios, you put Heart Radio on and she's playing on it, which is rare for country music, and we don't often get that. It also means that our little secretive kind of, not really a secret, country music's very big, but like it's getting even bigger, and it does mean that these tickets for the concert are going to be hard to get. But I'm also so proud for the artist. Like, that must feel unreal to be selling out in like a few minutes and stuff. Favorite song on the album is Something Simple, and definitely Be Her. Love the Be Her music video as well. I really want to try and recreate it on a girls' night after like a few too many wines. So keep an eye out for that actually on my TikTok, because whether it's a flop or not, I'm definitely going to post that video because it'd be so funny. Mum life isn't always picture perfect, especially online. We make out that it is, but sometimes it can be a cold cup of tea, running late, feeling overwhelmed for no reason, or like laughing and then suddenly crying. I have had one of those days. I feel knackered. I'm trying to tire my baby out so she can, she's 2. She's not a baby anymore, she's a toddler. But I want to tire her out. I want to give her the best sort of life, rather than on my days off before I had a kid, I would literally probably just sit and chill, go to the gym. But now life is busy because they don't sit still. They don't want to do nothing. They want to run around. They want to run around wild. So we actually went to the park this morning and went for a nice little walk. The walk trail said it was 20 minutes. With a toddler, that took us an hour and a half. I have hit my 10k steps in one morning with my toddler. It was hard work because she didn't want to be in the pram, then she didn't want to be carried, but then she didn't want to walk. So I was like, well, we can't sit here all day. So it was screams in the pram for a little bit, and then trying to distract her with like nursery rhymes, animal sounds, and her favourite song, You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story. That gets put on replay. Every time I go in the car, that is on replay. Did I fall over in the park today? Yes, I did. We went on one of them little like zip wire things, and because she's obviously 2, she can't get on it herself and do it herself, so I set her on. And I'm not going to walk with this zip wire, because where's the fun in walking with it? I have to run back and forth. Whilst I'm running, I fall. The zip wire is still kind of going, so it's taking me with it, and my leg is just like scraping on the floor. Phone falls out, keys fall out. She's still on it, laughing, having the best time of her life, and I'm just full on laying flat on the floor in this mud and bark, and was like, did anyone see? Yep, the whole park saw. Did anyone ask if I was okay? No. But it's all right. We got up, we brushed ourselves off, and we never went on it again. Let's just say that. I don't want to jump into the tea too much on episode 1 because I feel like I'm going to scare you guys off. And also, we've got episodes and episodes to get into it, so expect them at least each week. Please expect the setup to be a lot better as well. If you're watching this, then hopefully the video will be a lot better. If you were listening to this, again, this is a whole try and error process. So if when I listen to this back and if I'm like, it doesn't sound great, we will work on that. Don't you worry. Love some feedback as well. If anyone would like to give me some, it would be perfect. I don't actually take constructive criticism very well. I'll probably sit home and cry in bed, but then I'll get over it because you have to in life. I'm not, it is a flaw of mine. And I had a job interview not long ago and they asked me what my flaw was. And I was like, I'm just going to be honest. It's that I don't take it well, but maybe this isn't the place for me. No, I'm joking. I do want to do this. I'm really excited for the journey we're going to be on with G and the T. We're going to be getting into all sorts, relationships, life lessons, mistakes, funny moments, everything. And if you have any like tea that you want to send in, then please send it in on my Instagram or my TikTok at G and the T, and we can have a little discussion about sort of funny moments. People will be able to laugh or relate, and I love that, because at the end of the day, I always think if you ever have a funny thought, there's going to be somebody else in this world who have gone through the same thoughts or feelings or reactions. You're never going to be the only one. And I love that. So that's why we're all going to come together, whether you're a mum, whether you're into your country music, or you're just here for the vibes. I get it. All right, everybody, that is the tea for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on G and the T. I apologise, it is a short episode, but again, it's sort of my introductory episode. They will get longer as the time goes on. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow me, share it with your friends, or send it to a mum who you think might need a little bit of a laugh or a little bit of a cry, or just even a 5-minute breather. And if you've got your own stories, like I said, your own tea, send it in and we can discuss it hopefully on next week's episode. I will be back soon. Same vibes, but more tea. Until then, take care of yourself though, and we will catch up next week. Bye guys.